Hello there, Skrillex. It's kind of a spontaneous stream, to be honest. I mean, I initially really wanted to stream, then I just suddenly lost any wanting to stream, and then I just decided that I actually can handle that for some reason. So yeah, I'm sort of back after like 2 or 3 weeks absence, but it's better late than never, I suppose. Oh yeah, by the way, I do remember you. I do remember you writing that in Discord. Happy for you. Although I thought that your computer was already good enough to handle the newest games, but I suppose it wasn't. So congratulations. I actually was supposed to be getting a new PC like in June, I presumed, but it, it seems like that can and probably will be delayed until like August or September. So I really wanted to spend my free of university time playing Elden Ring and different other games, but it seems like it's not the case, unluckily. But anyway, I hope that I will get it eventually, at least at the end of summer, perhaps. Perhaps not, I don't know. It really depends on the um, circumstances, I guess. Yeah, I hope actually it would be really perfect if I could, you know, buy buy a PC and like buy a camera so that I could put like I mean not even a camera. I think that a good webcam would be sufficient enough. So I would put my webcam at my at my table where I draw, and then I could read the chat messages from my PC because it's really super inconvenient to do from my phone because on PC you can like permanently observe the chat and all the messages therein, but on your phone you can actually see the messages in the chat for like I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 seconds, and taking into account the fact that I'm not looking at the screen because I'm looking at a freaking sheet of paper to actually draw on it. I can you know miss a whole lot of messages, so that's kind of inconvenient. Well, I don't know. I suppose I don't really need to see myself. I just need to look at the chat. Yeah, I can't use actually my phone for. Oh yeah, but yeah, I guess there is an option to, to make a full screen chat on your phone. Yeah, I think that's an option. Don't really know how it works though, but I mean, we live in 2K25. There should be such things as full screen phone chat for YouTube broadcasts. I don't know. I mean, I meant, drawing streams. I meant that I could put a webcam upon the sheet of paper where I draw and enable chat on my PC or something like that. I could see one Russian streamer do something like that. So he had a canvas where he was drawing some anime girls, and this camera was put like behind his back, so that we could see the actual canvas that was upright, and he had chat and donation notifications on his PC, so he could read chat on PC, but at the same time he had his camera attached to his computer so that we could see what he was actually drawing. So I thought of a con similar system that can be used here as well. It's just a concept, an idea. I don't know. I think it's going to be stupid, really. I mean, 360-degree cameras were like hype for, I don't know, for a month or something like that. And the hype just died down because I don't know, it wasn't. It's like Oculus Rift, that virtual reality stuff and all like that. It's an interesting concept on paper, and it might be interesting to try out like once or twice or thrice, but like it's not the type of um, entertainment for for the daily for the daily basis, I suppose. I don't really even remember what all those 360 videos were all about. I just remember that very peculiar thing where you could turn your camera left and right and up and down, but I don't know, I just remember it being used in some, at least in Russian segment, in some really like very queer type of videos where it wasn't really even a thing, where a video would be, it was just stupid. That's what I want to say. And yeah, as I said, the hype just died down like almost instantly. At least that's That's how it just imprinted in my memory. Perhaps it was the other way, but well, not that I cared too much about that. 100 men versus one gorilla. Well, I think that man will win. Like, definitely, 100%. I mean, unless you put them one versus one, then yeah, perhaps gorilla stands a chance, but like taking into consideration the fact that we can just beleaguer and encircle that fucking gorilla, I think that we have like overwhelming odds in that situation. I mean, no weapons needed, just in my opinion, no weapons. Like, I think 100 men could like choke that fucking gorilla out of life. I mean, really. I mean, I know they're huge actually, but I don't know, something inside me just sits there and it just cannot accept the idea that 100 men would lose to a fucking gorilla. I mean, the first stand may perish, definitely. The chances are extremely high. The next stand, well, the chances of death are quite high still, but if you bruise gorilla in the same spots multiple times, it just will, give way, I suppose, to the human power. I don't know. I think it's very unplausible that one gorilla may outvie just 100 men. What was your last message? I couldn't see that because of that fucking chat and phone. I was surprised, but I'm pretty sure they stand at 5 foot 8 inch tall, something like that. Again, I'm not into that stupid system that you use in Great Britain. I don't know how much is that in centimeters. Like, yeah, I'm just a stupid European monkey, so could you please just transfer that abomination of a number into centimeters, please, so that I could understand what that means? Because like you say 5 feet, like what does it even mean 5 feet? How am I like people have different feet length, foot length. I'm sorry, um, like centimeters are universal. Fuck you and your stupid feet. It shouldn't be legal to measure something in feet anymore. 172? Do you mean gorillas? I mean, it's not that high actually. I am I am 170. I'm like okay, 3 centimeters shorter than gorilla is, but it's not that high, I suppose. I mean, I thought that gorillas were like 180, 190. That would be. I mean, even perhaps 2 meters or even over 2 meters. But if they're like 172, like fuck gorillas. I mean, if I jump, I will be. Oh my god, I will be even higher than that. What's the point of being a gorilla if you're like not even higher than me? If you're like, okay, if you're not much higher than me, there's no point in being a gorilla then, I suppose. Well, I don't know. I don't know what all of that is about, but as a conclusion, I think I may make my final verdict that, I mean, plus the fact that gorillas are like 172, they have no chances. Literally. I mean, if that was 1 versus 10, gorillas probably would have a lot of opportunities to fuck men up. Wait, I can be seen, but I mean, even you and me are. I mean, okay, I'm not higher than gorilla, but you definitely are. And I mean, a couple of men like you, plus like 5 men like me, and that gorilla just would eat shit. Definitely, just believe me. If you ever, if you're ever offered to like assault a gorilla by, I don't know, Mr. Beast for like 30,000 dollars, accept the offer, and it's just basically free. There's no way you and I are gonna lose. No way. Alright, I suppose I've just finished the draft. I mean, just. Okay, fuck it. Just think what you want, but I still consider these to be. I mean, as I said, we'll had unlimited stamina. I mean, no, no, no way. You say that we have no weapons, but Gorilla has infinite stamina. I think it still would be possible, though. I mean, 100 men may suffer a lot of casualties, as I said. The first 10 would definitely perish, the second 10 would definitely perish as well. That's unfortunate, but that's it. But as I said, at least half of men would be not intact, but in good health and sane mind, safe and sound, I would say. So, like, I don't know. If there was a guerrilla apocalypse, I suppose that we would stand victorious. Just because there are a lot more men than gorillas in the world, I guess. I never looked up the actual number of gorillas in the world, but according to plague ink evolved simian flu scenario, there aren't too many apes in the world. And there are even few gorillas in the world. So yeah, we have quite positive chances to fuck gorillas up, I suppose. Scuba gear only to help breathe underwater. One great white shark. Oh my god, that's even easier, I suppose. I mean, well, not easier, but no, wait, it's actually as difficult as with the gorilla, but just take into account the fact that, I mean, gorilla can kick with the feet, uh, like bash with its hands. I don't know, quickly turn here and there, to navigate, to look around. I don't know, but shark, what can it do? Like, just take into account the fact that shark has no fucking hands. It has fins, but whereas gorilla has at least four potentially lethal limbs, right? Like two feet and two hands, and doing damage. Like, yeah, but as I said, shark has no limbs. It has jaws. Yeah, that's true, but I don't think that shark is going to eat like multiple people at once, and it definitely can damage you seriously. But I think that the situation is like just the same because uh, of course your punches deal way less damage, but pick people off 1v1 in this scenario. Um, yeah, probably because Shark is definitely way more agile and dexterous underwater than men are. But yeah, actually, you convinced me. In that case, I believe one great shark has some chances to stay alive and just kick out all the contendants in that case. But um, I don't know. It's really, how to say, ambiguous. It's quite unclear who would win in that situation. Um, yeah, I think we've got more chances with gorillas, to be honest, because underwater is not our element. It's not where we are proficient and things like that. So yeah, I wouldn't really want to fight with a shark underwater, even with 99 other men to assist me. Plus, you can make the situation even more dreadful if you don't force people to fight in shallow waters under the daylight, but if you like put them like 100 meters below the surface during the night, like with some flashlights or under the moonlight, that would be horrendous because like the terror effect would be a great thing in that situation. I would just shit in my pants if I were like underwater during night. I know I can't. I cannot say anything about shark meat, but I think that my favorite animal. I do really love sharks, actually, but I think my most favorite sea animal is whale, or perhaps the whale shark, that 20-meter long one. Something like that. There was a game called Depth, but I don't know. I don't really remember much about it. Um, um, I mean, sperm whale or cachalot, as I really like I really like to call it more like cachalot, because sperm whale is called that way because there was a special sperma something oil in their head to help them float and plunge deep into the water. But that very oil in their heads, I mean, they didn't just they didn't can exist, but they actually exist. I mean, that's a proved fact. I mean, we found some teeth of megalodon, and we have proved that it was the apex predator. So perhaps they weren't like as big as we can suppose, but they definitely existed and probably were just gigantic. So that sperma something oil in their heads was called so because it first was confused with, with sperm, because it's also oily, white, and yeah, things like that. No, it's probably not true, I suppose, because, like, the difference in oxygen content in the air and things like that, plus the death of megafauna happened like a few million years ago. I don't really remember the exact name of the period it happened in, like Cretaceous period or Triassic, or perhaps even any other paleontological period, but there was a period which was called the death of megafauna. I mean, it's an over exaggeration, I believe. If I mean, when we say that we have explored like 4% of the ocean waters, I believe that we mostly mean like Mariana Trench stuff and like microorganisms with plankton and corals. Like we even, delved into Mariana Trench and found there almost nothing but for some bacteria and fucking plastic bags, in Mariana Trench. Thanks humanity, what a fucking discovery. A plastic bag at the depth of almost 1200 meters below the surface. So, if Megalodon existed up to this day, I think that we have, um, we would have found it by 2025, I suppose. We would have found it like by, I don't know, by the beginning of the 20th century. It can't be this way that we can, detect a lot of whale sharks, a lot of sperm whales or cachalots, a lot of killer whales, a lot of microorganisms, but cannot detect a fucking megalodon. It just doesn't work like that. So yeah. I mean, I hope that scientists aren't just dumbasses who can miss a fucking megalodon in five or six. I don't really remember how many oceans there are, but you get my idea. North what? North Sentinel Island? What the hell is that? Never heard of it in my life. I hope it's not just another cryptozoologist theory or just stuff like that. homes, indigenous tribe called the Sentinelese. Never heard of it actually. Oh, it's quite interesting, I suppose, because there are a lot of islands, especially in like Indonesia or like the tropical southern islands, which contain a lot of um, extinct endemic species of animals, like that extinct dodo bird, or like endangered kakapo parrot, the non-flying parrot. There are very um, interestingly looking animal, those endemic animals which can be found on just one island in the world. That's surprising. Oh yeah, India. I can't remember the fact. Yeah, I guess I heard something about that island. Isn't it that island which scientists tried to study, but they could not because that tribe, those who tried to approach those Sentinelese people were simply killed by the tribe. And it was claimed, they were claimed to be like the most antagonistic tribe in the world because they were seen multiple times, but not even a single time they were studied because they just were too aggressive and killed anybody who dared approach them. Yeah, I heard about that. By the way, I think even if we got to that island, I think we would find nothing of interest there. All the, rare endemic species would probably be extinct because of, the Sentinelese, I suppose, because they are just people and they need food and they probably have already killed all fucking beauteous parrots that we could find there. So, but the tribe itself would be the only precious thing to be discovered there. 50,000 years sounds like a whole fucking lot. Perhaps there are some evidence of, I don't know, of some primordial life that could elucidate some points of our um, primal life, some migration things, some rights. I don't know. I don't know how history, archaeology, and paleontology works and what they may or may not discover there. So, like, good fucking luck trying to befriend those Aborigines people. 100% there's nothing of interest there. I tell you, I already know. Stop trying, you fucking morons. Um, do I have some secret protected? Well, perhaps. I mean, they do have. For sure, they do have some sacrosanct altars, like maybe not pyramids. I really doubt, but like some, ritual facilities. Perhaps some pyramid-like things. Perhaps some houses. Perhaps some other, you know, like Easter Island had stuff. So yeah, they may have it or they may not. Anyway, like there is a thing like most ancient, like really ancient structures are quite primitive. I mean, they are still a focal point for archaeologists and historians, but they're quite primitive and not too much interesting for ordinary people. I mean, there are some exceptions, like ancient Indian palaces, which look like something, at least to me, they look like something that was possible to build in like 19th century. But when I learned that it was built like in 3000 years BC, I was like what? how how the hell is that even possible? It shouldn't be true. Like, just type ancient Indian architecture and you would find, like, not churches, but I guess palaces or cathedrals or whatever, which have like millions of details, millions of miniature stages, figures, patterns upon the facade, and with the upon the columns, upon the ceiling, upon everything. And it was built a few thousand years before Christ. Holy shit. I mean, ancient Indian architecture is probably one of the most impressive architectural merits of our humankind throughout the entire history. Just for me, like, only Gothic or Baroque architecture can be on par with ancient Indians. And I still don't really, I have no freaking clue how they managed to build something like that within like hundreds of years, maybe 1,000 of years. It still just sounds like something impossible to me, like utterly impossible. Perhaps I'm wrong and all of that is just simpler than it looks and or sounds, but yeah, by the way, they probably have animal farms or some prototypes thereof. But I mean, as I said, if they domesticated animals, that would be really interesting to look at. But as I said, all um, potential endemic, unique, so to speak, animals are probably already dead. That, it must be interesting to know how exactly they domesticated them, which might give us some insight inside of how we actually evolutionized. But maybe we'll never know. Maybe they won't be able to speak English. Who knows? Maybe they have keys to universal enigmata. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Alright, so I guess the first stuff is almost finished. I mean, it's draft, at least. I may add some bulbs, some mini bulbs, but at this point of time, I believe it's probably almost finished. I mean, just look at Africa. Africa has phones and internet and AK-47s just because Europeans came thither. You know, perhaps if not Europe, um, they would have still have spears and stuff. And I mean, there are still a lot of tribes in Africa which still have nothing but spears and makeshift shackles. I mean, there are some tribes in Africa that have very unique style of fostering children. Do you know it? It's like they're very feral, very ferine and animalistic. What I mean is that usually, uh, even in Africa, people they like bring up their children. It may be very, as I said, ferine methods of bringing up, but they still actually do care about them. But there are few tribes in Africa that do not care about their children. They may breastfeed their children a couple of times, but thereafter they just have the following logic. Like, if animals can just stand up and go and find some food, then our children may do so as well. And of course, a great deal of children there just die because human children are the most fucking helpless children in the entire nature. That's true, and that is compensated by our potential and intelligence and the language and things like that. But anyway, so they still kind of they haven't evolved from that animal-like behavior. They still like abandon their children and just say, well, if panthers and hyenas can just feed on garbage and berries around, then why can't do the same our children? Hell yeah, let's go and do something when our children are just starving to death. So that's it. There are some tribes that never evolve, I guess. They just it's a how do you say it in English? It's like um how to say it's a deadlock wave of evolution. It's like it's just too hopeless. They cannot they cannot diverge from their course. They have already delved into abysm. There's no way they just get out of it. So yeah, it's like no wonder that there are just several tribes that still haven't evolved up to like Iron Age or Bronze Age. Sometimes evolution just makes mistakes, and some people just they are just destined to die or just destined to stay in a very it's a very primitive stage of development. right. What are the island they're on? Is just the same one from the show Lost. Never watched The Lost, but I heard something of it. It's like a plane crash on an island, lone island where there is no civilization, and they all survive, and there are some mysteries, and they discover like the secrets of the island and shit like that. I don't know. Never heard of Lost. Very famous, very famous, but never watched. Lol, I suppose. Alright, so the outlining of this stuff, the staff is kind of finished, I guess. So now I can begin filling it. So it's been like, what do you mean? You're speaking of things that I have no notion of. I've got not even a single idea what you have just said. It's a video game character or something like that. No, isn't it? Any like Mortal Kombat stuff? Something of that sort? I don't know. They kill like just something like that. Get who again? Just let me. Um, um, Chinggis Khan. Oh my god, Chinggis Khan. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm fucking confused by that spelling because it's got an alternative spelling that is like more Chinggis Khan, which we call him in Russia. But yeah, I know that in English it's it's got two or three spellings, but one of them is just what you have just spelled, and it's like Genji Khan, and it confuses shit out of me. But yeah, it's Genghis Khan. Yeah, that dude. I know Genghis Khan because like he played a huge fucking role in like history of Russia because um, we had been under the oppression of Mongols for 200 years. I mean, it's complicated, but basically they just forced Rus to pay, how's that called? Taxes, like basically, you know. Yeah, Chinggis Khan, or as you say it, as you spelled it, just let me, Genji Han, yeah. How could I have not recognized it? I could, I saw it like twice or thrice before it, and I even thought, what a fucking mess of a spelling this. Yeah, Chang'es Han. Yeah, by the way, it's more Chang'es Han than Genji Han. I don't know. And I thought, what a mess of a spelling is that? I mean, just in comparison with Russian, yeah. But even though I haven't recognized it here, what a shame! What a shame of me. Oh God, I've got so much to draw. I got this staff. I need to draw two more staffs like that, plus three crowns, plus a whole lot of intra-cathedral like architecture, halls and stuff like that. All of that is extremely engaging, but it takes so much time and it just, oh, I might play Ghost of Tsushima just because of that. Well, actually, I heard something of Ghost of Tsushima and I heard that it's a game worth playing, so maybe one day, again, when I've got a PC, not a new PC, but just a PC, just finally for, someday. So I may, first I will play Elden Ring. Then I will buy some Dark Souls games, and then I will probably play Ghosts of Tsushima or Minecraft or Terraria Calamity Mod. I don't fucking know. So many games nowadays, so many genres, so many things going on out there. All right, all right, all right, cowboy. Just calm down. Okay, Red Dead Redemption 2 story is the best one. We get it. We get it. Okay. Just let us keep drinking beer and talking just here. We get it. The storyline of Red Dead Redemption is the best one in the video game history, man. Yeah, we just got it. Bam, 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 boom. So this stuff doesn't really look like I wanted it to look initially, but that okay, that's all right. I suppose that will do probably. Mm, maybe I can make it. Maybe I can just add some additional bulbs slash buds. By the way, by the way, I've got a linguistic piece of news or like something like that. So in Russian, we got two words for like to poop and to peace. Maybe I will try Red Dead Redemption 2 one day. I'm not just a huge fan of GTA like games in general, but one day I might try it when I'm just too bored, I guess. So, English words for to piece are virtually the same, but if we try to juxtapose the verbs for to shit, they are completely different. I mean, in Russian, we've got two words, two verbs, one of which is more like vulgar, which is srать, and the other one is like a childish one, which is kakать. And it doesn't really seem like English word for it, for taking shit, right? You say shit, we say kakать actually, so they don't really look similar. But lately I began to look up definitions of the verbs which start with be, like bewitch, um, beget, become, and things like that. Very rare verbs which begin with to be. And there was a verb bekak, and bekak means to smear with feces. Can you feel it? Like, it is just definitely a relative verb for our Russian one. It's just obsolete, I guess, and not used by the native speakers nowadays, but it's still a relative word. It's a cognate. Hell yeah, bekak. Now I will try to find a special place for it in my poem because it's such a great discovery, I believe. Bekak. What do you mean? Why is it a word? It's like it's a word and it existed and it still like exists maybe somewhere. I don't know. It's definitely an obsolete term, but eh, I found a cognate for a Russian one. Isn't it um, magnificent? I suppose. Even though the meaning isn't that gorgeous, but like no, wait. Bekak means yeah to smear, not to smear oneself. It's not reflexive. It's not that I bekak. If you say bekak, you say to bekak somebody or something. I mean, it's very yeah, it's very queer. It's very odd actually, but seemingly it just people needed it. Like they just needed a verb for bedaubing something with thesis, I suppose. Maybe it just was a variant of there was a verb to cocken, um, which just meant to shit, and the cack obviously meant something like a piece of shit. And there is a whole lot of verbs which with the to be prefix, which mean to do something or to make something. Like, for example, be capped means wearing a cap. Be caped wearing a cape, be, I don't know, be panted, which means, I don't know where there is a verb. I mean, there is a verb befooled, which means deceived, um, taken aback, and things like that. Beclowned, which means the one who is laughed at, and things like that. So if there was a word cack, it was just a cardinal sin not to make up the verb to be cack. I suppose, I don't know. Definitely, it was normal for that, and even for modern verb forming paradigm. So somebody just decided to make up the BCAC. There is was even not a verb, but what is it called? It's not, and it's participle one. No, it's participle two, which was becocked. Becocked means having a shape of a penis. You know, becocked, becacked. There is a certain pattern there that I that I can see. Definitely, definitely not a thing for today, but a very curious linguistic discovery for me. Again, if you ever read my poem, be sure on one of the pages there is a word "becack." It shall be there, I promise you. Be gay. Yeah, by the way, if there was a verb be gay, that would mean to make somebody gay. Because again, there is a word like be clown, which means to laugh at and virtually means to make a clown out of somebody, or to be fool, meaning to make a fool out of somebody. I mean, there are dozens and hundreds of verbs like that. Um, there was like be blazon, which means to put a blazon on, be apron, to put an apron on, to make somebody, like to put on something, those meanings. So actually, if we take the olden paradigm, that be gay would means to make somebody gay in the meaning of to make somebody happy, because the word gay originally meant and still kinda sorta retains its meaning of jolly, happy, and things like that. So yeah, be gay definitely means to make somebody gay, but the meaning of the word gay here is up to you, I suppose. It is you to decide the destiny of these wording here. Homophobia. No homophobia here. Ha- homophobia? Homophobia. Homophobia. Yeah, hell yeah. I just reminisced how it is pronounced correctly. Not homophobia here. We accept everybody, except gays, Jews, black people, but all the others are just warmly welcome. I mean, you probably should be Caucasian, actually, but No homophobia, no racism, no anti-Semitism. Just just happiness, jolliness, gayness, but please no gays and no black people, no colored people here, please. But apart from that, no racism, no homophobia, and no bad things at all. Yeah, yeah, stop racism. No racism here, no homophobia, no misogyny, no anti-Semitism, no ableism, no fat phobia, no um, uh, no shit, no shit, no shit here, please. No shit, no black, no Jews, no shit, no homophobia. Okay, yeah, stop racism. Stop LGB barbecue TT LGTV plus whatever it's called right now. Alright, I've got only these bulbs remaining, plus I want to add some additional light bulbs hanging from the top. Yeah, LGTV HD HD 4K, yeah. Plus barbecue, I guess. Plus Guinness, plus something like that, You're right, my friend. The abbreviation was approximately as you have just stated. You do actually support me when I need it most. I do appreciate it in you. Thank you very much. Yeah, please stop LGTVHD 4K plus barbecue. Yeah, thank you. So I have finished these bulbs, and the only thing that I have to finish, yeah, no hate towards smart PCs, LG TVs, things like that. Yeah, stop racism, stop hatred. Yeah, no, um, no restriction for haters, no restriction for Nazis, for like we have equal rights, right? We have our right to hate and to annihilate. I don't know. We all have equal rights. We do have right to hate, to humiliate, to denigrate, to spread misinformation, to exaggerate problems with migrants. um, you're oppressing our freedom of speech and things like that. No oppressions for freedom and liberty. No oppression for honest people who fight foul tarnists or things like that. Foul tarnished in search of the Elden Ring, emboldened by the flame. Oh my god! By the way, I saw the dialogues of Elden Ring characters. I mean, in the cutscenes. Yeah, that's a good idea, by the way. That's a fucking good idea. With katanas, I think. With katanas, yes. No, like, no examinations here and there. No tests. No shit. Just a fucking katana duel. So, that would be the most honest way of solving our problems, I guess. So I saw the videos of Elden Ring cutscenes with voices only, so like no music, no ambient, just pure voices of bosses. But the subtitles were in German. Oh my god, I really enjoyed, pausing those videos and just trying to mimic the intonation of bosses, but in German. So that, very first quote of Margit, which was foul tarnished in search of the Elden Ring. And like, German words, uh, mainly because of the inflections, are just at least one syllable longer than their English counterparts. Um, and it was like widerliche Befleckte auf der Suche nach dem Elden Ring. And I don't know, it was so enjoyable for some reason. I think I could be the official voiceover for German version of Elden Ring. I mean, I could, voice act for women, for men, no difference. I would be putting 100% of my, like, non-Germanic soul into that project. Just give me the fucking subtitles and I will blow that shit up. By the way, when I was anything other than English, I tried to switch my Elden Ring once into French, and I was playing that for like a few days. And the only phrase that I learned was "you died," which was I'm not sure about the pronunciation. It was spelled like "vous avez péris" or something like that, but I suppose it's pronounced like "vous avez péri." Yeah, probably not in French, really. But I do really know how to speak German. I mean, pronounce at least. Some Japanese game, but again, wait, what? Again, some Japanese games that can't be changed, I guess. But they are okay. I guess it. Again, as I said, no homophobia, no migrantophobia, no xenophobia it's called. Yeah, I'm sorry, no xenophobia. Uh, just English, but no xenophobia. We are 100% free of xenophobia, racism, things like that. Just English, please. No homophobia, no xenophobia. Acceptance for all. Equal rights for all. For all white English speaking people. No inequalities, no disenfranchising, no shit like that. All right, so this staff is virtually finished, I suppose. And thus, the broadcast is kind of over. I mean, I could stream for 1.5 hours, but just don't really feel like it. Want to switch to my PC again, even though it lags a shit. I don't know, never heard about that corpse corpse patty. I heard only about Splatter Buddy, but it's a song by Chameleon. Alright, so the stuff is kind of finished, I suppose. So and it looks like that, sorta, with some fulgent leaves here and there with uh, light buds with bulbs inside. So these circular things are supposed to be uh, radiating fulgence effusing circles, I suppose. I don't know. So yeah, that's it. So I have to draw two more stuffs like this, three more crowns. Fuck it. I'll not finish it till the end of my life. She's not doing is don't spoil it. So with any of the dogs. So. I mean, I have already watched a few, not playthroughs, but like challenge runs in Dark Souls 3. Like, I'm not into story, but I know that the first boss is like Eudex Gundia. Then there are the Deacon of the Deep, some crystal witches. I don't know. Some there is Dark Eater Medea, the DLC boss. I don't know. Some Slave Knight Gale. That's, I mean, I saw some of Dark Souls 1 bosses, like the Bed of Chaos and Artorias and Four Kings. Again, don't really know their lore, don't really know what they do and what they act like. Don't even know what their soundtracks are like. I hope they will be. There will be something for me to to Google and things like that. But as of now, I think I'm kind of over. I think you. Yeah, I hope that this will happen. So, and I will be really excited about all the Dark Souls series. So yeah, really thank you very much, Scruggs, for coming today. It's been great, 1 hour 27 minutes to stay here with you and have some conversation for me not to die to boredom. Again, thank you for great company and see you, I don't know, maybe tomorrow, maybe like 3 weeks later past this stream. Who the hell knows? Yeah, so thank you and see you later.